DLive, I think. Hopefully we don't have any Archon issues today.
Nah, the Archons are tired. They're tired just like all of us. They need a break sometimes.
Bruh, they never get tired of messing with my streams.
Sure about that?
Right, I shouldn't even be talking them up, man.
Don't give them any power. Call them Lizzies. That's why the book, The Bringers of the Dawn, said call them reptilians or give them power, so they nickname them Lizzies in the book.
Damn, Lizzies.
Right. So from now on, they're Lizzies.
Lizzie. Well, I think we're up.
Did you get any eggnog?
Man, hell no. I don't know what they got at the lake house, though. I gotta...
Jessica Sykes said, I have eggnog thawing in the refrigerator right now. She froze last winter in case she needed eggnog over the 3 seasons that it isn't available.
Oh, the eggnoggery.
That's hilarious. That's extreme.
Alright. What up, Teach? Alright, let me take this down and play this little her video.
Watch Loyal to the Foil, but don't believe anything she says. Do your own research for yourself. Don't let other people think for you.
Definitely don't let other people think for you. What is up, fam? Hello! Happy Friday. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Yes. Yes, indeed. What is good? What up, Teach? Hi, Wonder Mod. Disco Daphne says, what's up, Tylena? Hi, Tylena.
It's Pyler.
Pyler, right? Pyler. What up, Stacks? Tree
I
Wade.
I laughed so hard when that happened. I read that bag. Because they even asked me to spell my name, and so I did. I guess they thought I said P instead of T.
Hey, makes sense to me. Pyler. What up, Pyler? Right? Who's over here on the YouTube? What up, UFO Mark, Melody, Leyland, Suitor? Hey, Suitor. You driving? Be careful, fam. What up, Cads? Frightening Me. Good to see ya. Jessica Sykes, Lineale. Sarah Gray, Michelle Janae. Hello, Allison Neal. Good to see you guys. What up, Patricia Serdal, Nancy Lucky? Yeah. So what is good with you, Pyler? How's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. We finally got a win today with
We got wins on wins, man.
I know it's nice finally to get some good news coming from the media instead of like.
Oh no, they're totally still trying to spin it, right? You see all the hate?
Of course. Yeah, I know that, but not coming from the media. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean.
Forcing them to report on something useful, right? Way to force their hand. Yeah, man, I was ecstatic.
Did you see the video?
Oh, when he about fell out?
Yeah, he did fall. He like dropped to his knees.
Amen. Because it's not. Listen, man, this was not just about what happened that night. I mean, it was about what happened that night, but it wasn't just about what happened that night. Like
much bigger than that. Yeah.
So much. I mean, this was our right to defend ourselves when being attacked. I mean, this to me, this is the most fundamental shit. Like, you know, your right to existence is enshrined by something bigger than the freaking Constitution, man. That is written into your DNA, your right to exist. And if that is being threatened, hey, it is what it is, you know. And thank God the country has always stood behind that. Even though it's been getting attacked recently, I was so happy to see this outcome today.
Imagine if it went the other way. Like, what would that look like for the future? I
Oh
mean,
my
you
goodness.
know what I'm saying? It's
Oh my
actually a huge
goodness.
pivotal moment, really.
Man. John the Greek coming in with the fleet. Thanks, fam. Good to see you. What up, First Branch? Thanks for the can. Yeah, whoop ass can of whoop ass for the Kenosha kid. That's right. John the Greek says, "Miss you guys. I've been too busy at work." I feel you. I feel you.
I actually went to so MUFON, we have a local MUFON meetup,
Ooh,
and they haven't
yay.
met for 19 months because of the pandemic. So they finally had their first meeting back
How'd
last
that go?
on Wednesday night. Wasn't that many people that showed up. A lot of that group is still very scared. Some of the people who came like said they hadn't left their house the whole time. I'm like, what did you do? Like, though they had groceries delivered. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
What?
yeah, I'm telling you, it's like that crowd. They're not awake. That's very MUFON is very nuts and bolts UFO. They talk about the UFOs. They don't ever talk about who's driving them, or they don't get deep.
Right.
They think they're very scientific. Like, okay, they break it down on like the surface level, and then they stop. But I thought, what the hell? I want to go check it out. And they did Debbie Ziegelmeyer. She's the chief investigator from Missouri. She's actually been on Ancient Aliens, a couple of UFO shows on TV, and she's spoken at conferences. She has a book out, but she did her whole presentation on the underwater colonization of extraterrestrials or something like that. And it was actually pretty good. It was actually surprisingly good, and I was surprised to see the direction she went with it. It was awesome. It was cool.
That's all. I understand the approach, the very nuts and bolts approach, where you don't try to speculate a lot. But I mean, come on, like at some point you have to ask the bigger questions. Not
Right.
just what are these things, but what does this mean? You know what I mean? You have to go there.
Yeah, some people get triggered when you start getting into it or getting into that stuff. People have in the past, they've like stood up and raised their hand and like this is about UFOs. I don't care about this other bullshit. Blah blah blah. Like like people don't even they get mad if you stray off topic and talk about something deeper.
How does that? I don't know how that even works. I mean, do you just do these people just never question what the hell is going on? They're just like, all right, well, that's it. Here's the report. Like that sounds real bureaucratic to me, man. Like I'm
Yeah,
always trying
yeah,
to
I don't
ask
know.
the bigger questions. What up, Fearless? Good to see ya. Nice flannel there, Piler. I like it.
Right?
Right, rocking the
Nice and
lumberjack. Look
it's
at
getting
you.
cold
Right.
here, man. It's freezing. It was 27 degrees when I woke up this morning. Fuck that.
Oh, I love it. I miss the snow. Like it's actually like in the 30s here tonight. Like it's supposed to
Yeah.
be pretty cold. Yeah, allegedly. I haven't been out there yet. I gotta drive down to the lake house when I leave here, so I will verify these weather reports. I'm pretty excited about it though. Alara's down there. There's some Miracle Girlie is down there, and Suki and Co.
You
Uh,
know, um, she did. Sorry, go back to the MUFON thing. Something that she mentioned in her presentation was so she's a diver. So that's why she covers underwater stuff. And she's actually gone and, she's dove a lot of sites where there's been activity and stuff. She has incredible footage of her own. But she was talking about this one instance. I think it was a lake in Russia where these five divers, five
Lake
or seven,
Baikal.
you might know about it, where they encountered the 10-foot tall beings. And but the amount of detail she had on that case was incredible. And yeah, they encountered the 10-foot tall beings in silver suits,
Mm-hmm.
and then they resurfaced, and then they decided to go back down with a net of all things. They had this idea like they were going to capture one of
Catch
these things.
aliens in a net. Yeah, all right.
Like they were gonna tranquilize it and catch it in a net and put like dive bags on it to bring it to the surface. They
Oh,
had this
good
whole
lord.
plan. Well, when they went down there, they went to the exact same spot and they found them again. But this time, the report is they claimed that this thing just like put its hand out like this, and all of them immediately shot to the surface from 165 feet, and three of them died by the time they got to the surface,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other four they threw in a decompression chamber, and only one survived
That's
and
great.
to tell the story.
I keep telling you, Russia. There's some. We need to talk about Russian UFO sightings at some point, man. We got to do a whole show on it for real.
Yeah,
For real. Um. Yeah. So what is that? You want to start us off today with the quizzery?
sure. Quizzery.
Quizzery. The quizzicals.
um, this is an easy one. Not easy, maybe not. According to whistleblower and Navy veteran William Tompkins, in what year did the Navy officially accept that the planet was under investigation by alien space military forces?
Ooh.
A, 1938, B, 1952, C, 1942, D, 1947. According to whistleblower and Navy veteran William Tompkins, in what year did the Navy officially accept that the planet was under investigation by alien space military forces? 1938, 1952, 1942, 1947.
Hmm. I'm gonna guess and go with 52.
52. I don't see
52.
anything in the chat yet. I guess it's behind though.
Right. We're always a little bit behind. Uh. Are we still up on Foxhole? I don't see that chat moving at all either.
UFO
Who
mark.
knows?
I don't know. I can check.
Right? Who knows? UFO Mark, what up, fam? What up, FZ? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah. Speaking of William Tompkins, I know this is kind of off track, but we got some pretty big disclosure, I think, recently. Did you see the stuff that the who was it? The DNI? What's her name? Arlen. Ar. What is her name?
Who?
The
Oh,
DNI.
oh yeah, that blonde girl.
Yeah, she
Um,
was at the Ignatius Forum, and she was like
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
how the things in the other category on, they had like the five categories when they turned in the report, and they had a category of other, and she was saying like, yeah, that these things are, and she couldn't even get the word out of her mouth, extraterrestrial, right? It was,
Yeah.
I
I
thought that
didn't
was
see
huge.
I didn't see that. I just saw people report on it saying more limited hangout disclosure, blah blah blah. So let's see if I can even find it. But oh yeah. So what did you
Shepherding
say her name?
shepherds. Oh man, no.
Okay, so I'm thinking of something totally different. I'm thinking of the
What is her name?
so they're setting up an office in DC, a UFO investigative office, I guess, if you heard that or not.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. So I don't know what you're talking about then.
Avril Haines. Avril Haines. For the life of me, I'm thinking Arlen. Like that's way off. Avril Haines. What up, Amy Joe? Thanks for the cookie, love. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. So what year are we talking? 52? 52?
42.
42. I knew it was one of the twos because you put two of them in
1942 is
there.
actually the Battle of LA.
Right.
Where there was hundreds of witnesses actually for a UFO battle between the Navy ships
Yeah,
and
that's crazy. They were firing mad shells at these things in the sky, right? And then would they try to claim it was the next day? Like it was some shenanigans.
I don't know what they tried to claim it was, but I do know like William Tompkins was actually there. They were witnessing it firsthand, and they actually got out of the house and they were watching this. And he said that it was the craziest thing. He said it was like everybody was hypnotized. He said not one person of these hundreds of people panicked. No one even got flustered or anything. They just sat there and calmly watched. He swears like the way he describes it was like the only way that he can describe it is there was some type of like hypnosis going on because no one panicked. Everybody just watched in silence. The way he
Oh
described it
hell no.
from what he remembers.
I don't know that
Um,
there would be any kind of hypnosis that would have kept me calm at that point, right? Like I'm
42 was C, Patricia said. So 42 was B or C. It was C.
see,
The answer is C. Sorry.
right? Yeah, I don't think I could have kept calm in that circumstance. Melody says I think they said it was a weather blip. Probably. I'm sure it was something stupid. Probably.
Well, I mean, they wasted a lot of ammo on these things and
Yeah,
with no,
right. For it to be
success.
nothing, right? For them
And
to
it was
claim it
right
was.
after Pearl Harbor too, so it was a crazy time. But it was in 1942, like Well, at the same time, they were getting reports from Germany from the Navy spies, and to where they were able to deem aliens a reality and a potential threat.
Imagine
So
that. Thanks, Texas Q, for the can. You're allowed to be late here, sir. I am late to literally everything. It is all good, right? Emotional suppression field. Fearless says. Yeah, you couldn't suppress my emotions, fam. I'd be out there like, what? Like,
yeah,
click, click, let's go.
he said it was crazy. Nobody was. Everyone just stood and watched in awe, basically.
I
And
couldn't.
then
I couldn't do it.
yeah.
I couldn't do it. All right, I got one for you.
And he said the only people that actually died were people died too from falling artillery from our own
Imagine
weapons,
that.
not from them. It was our own weapons, the shells from the shells that came down and actually killed people.
Imagine that. Probably all calm too, like, oh look, Bob's dead. What a shame.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor Bob,
He's
right?
gonna. I guess I'll eat his leftovers.
Right. His wife made a casserole, I understand. Let me go check this out.
Oh my God, we're terrible.
All right, it is speculated by some Native Americans that what part of the body may serve as an antenna for the sixth sense? Is it A, fingernails, B, hair, C, eyelashes, or D, the spine?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with hair, but it could be spine. It's for some reason seems like it could be.
What do you guys think, right? It is speculated by some Native Americans that what part of the body may serve as an antenna for your sixth sense? A, fingernails, B, hair, C, eyelashes, or D, the spine.
I do know that the Native Americans believed that their hair was an extension of their nervous system, so that's why they all had long hair. They never cut it. I don't know if that means that. I guess it could also be an antenna. So I'm gonna go there.
You gonna go with hair? Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's. Yeah, it is hair. It is their hair, right? I agree. Look at it. Like I'm like Samson. Like don't cut my hair, man. My hair is down to my arse. Like that's it, right? It's crazy because when I was looking up when I was researching, uh, apparently when they were getting the code talkers during the world wars, um, they had it's they had enlisted some recruits who were documented as having outstanding, almost supernatural tracking abilities, right? Um, and then there were some that just didn't do so well. So apparently, when they were asking them about these failures in performance, the older recruits replied consistently that when they received their required military haircuts, they could no longer sense the enemy. That they could no longer access a sixth sense. Their intuition wasn't reliable. They couldn't
Wow.
read subtle signs, or access like subtle extrasensory information. Right. So
I
the
need to stop
report
getting haircuts.
bro, I'm telling you, I don't cut my hair at all, period. Like, I'll maybe trim the ends a bit, but that's the extent of it. But so the report, because this was all documented in the government report, the report claims that government testing institutes compared the behaviors and tracking performances of Native American trackers with and without long hair. And they found officially, like, they followed the science and found that the long haired subjects outperformed those whose hair had been cut in the military fashion. The suggested theory, as you said, was that the long hair behaved kind of as an extension of the nervous system. Not unlike the way like cat whiskers transmit information to the cat, as it's on a prowl, as it's approaching its prey or whatever. The hair literally was kind of like an antenna for their sixth sense.
Man, you came prepared with that one.
Boom, right?
I guess I could have read more about that
No,
Battle of LA. um, no, that's fascinating and that's really interesting. I didn't know that there was actually like
well, we were talking
result.
about Native American stuff yesterday when you were talking with Brad. As a matter of fact, that show with Brad yesterday kicked ass. You guys, if you did not see, Brad Calodro gets on with Tyler Kiwala and Aaron. You need to go check that out. It was killer show. But when you were talking about the Native American stuff yesterday, and I had pulled
Yeah.
out the Navajo Myths book that I had sent you the pictures of, and it just led me down this whole rabbit hole. And I was thinking, I knew there was a reason I don't like I said, I'm like Samson. My strength is in my hair, man.
No, it was. Thank you for saying that. It was a fun show. It was a good episode. Uh, Brad's a fun guest. It was just a cool chat
Oh,
to
he's
have.
so easy to
Yeah.
talk to, man.
Right?
He's so
Yeah.
easy to talk to, for sure, for sure.
It's funny because I had this idea going into it. I wanted to get into more of the technical end of Looking Glass, but just one thing I never do on the show is I don't force it. So I just go where
Hmm.
the conversation goes, and we end up talking about all kinds of amazing things. But um, what are they saying about me? Tyler is on form. What? Anyway, no, it ended up being a great episode.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was. Yeah, it
thank you.
was. I enjoyed it yesterday for sure. Uh, Patricia Turtle said that was a great show. I want to get that tribe book. Brad is awesome. Yes, he
Oh yeah,
is.
that book I read from the bear
Hmm.
or the whatever the bear tribe book.
Yep, that was
That
pretty
was
awesome.
that's
Uh,
interesting too.
you see the one I sent over to you. They were talking about the Bluebird clan.
Right, that was
Um,
surprising to me
isn't that
actually.
crazy? Right, the
Yeah,
Bluebird clan. Because I mean, they obviously believed that
they
their
were all
leaders and stuff came from the stars, and
right.
they dedicated themselves to the Blue Bird clan. That's who they were. Um, and then what was it? The other one I sent you was about what? Now I forget. I'm
I
such a
have to read.
space case, man. Right?
What?
Because you guys were talking about the chronovisor. Like that's my shit too. Uh,
It was about you.
oh, the giants.
Yeah, the
The
Giants.
giants. Yeah, they were talking about the giants and how the monstrous children were born and they grew into giants and all this stuff. Like,
Well, that's all about like the Cahokia site here. They found the Birdman tablet. They found the burial with a guy dressed as a bird who apparently upon his passing was when the civilization disappeared, and they don't know what happened to them, but they all worshiped this Birdman, and there were giant skeletons found. I mean, this is a common theme among Native Americans. So, what did they're like? And then the one you were talking about in particular was talking about the blue birds.
the Bluebird clan, right?
Right. That's
That made me think of old Corey, right?
oh yeah, blue Ravians. All right, let's go to the next one. What do I have next?
Oh, BBP, this was on, if you're asking about the show with Brad, it was on Journey to Truth. Not on this channel. It was on Journey to Truth yesterday.
You can find us on YouTube,
The
Rumble, Apple Podcasts.
I should have, let me see. Yeah, your links are in the description below.
Yeah.
So the link's there. So definitely go sub to that BBP if you're not already.
All right. What do we have next?
You tell me, sir.
According to how do you say it? Basaggio?
Andrew Basaggio. Yeah.
According to Andrew Basaggio, beginning in 1968, the CIA and the U.S. Navy operating in Area 51 were actively training groups of U.S. military and students to become the first generation of what? So the CIA and the U.S. Navy, who were operating out of Area 51, were actively
Hmm.
training groups of U.S. military and students to become the first generation of what? A. Dimensional explorers. B. Off-world spies. C. Super soldiers. D. Intergalactic translators.
Is it not all of the above?
Not in this case.
Right. Man. What are the
I'll read the
options
answer.
again?
I'll read
Yeah.
the so A. Dimensional explorers. B. Off-world spies. C. Super soldiers. D. Intergalactic translators. They were the first. They were to become the first generation of which one?
I guess I'm gonna say super soldiers, but I thought they were working on jump rooms and stuff. I could be wrong.
You're not wrong. They were doing that.
Non-binary furries. My blue chickens. Yes, the blue chickens.
So we got a
Fearless.
bunch of C's so far. The answer
The
is
answer.
A. Dimensional explorers.
Aha! See,
So
jump rooms.
yeah, Project Pegasus was the whole
Ah,
jump room time travel program that was going on at that time, and they were training them how to basically dimension hop and using whatever the jump rooms,
he's got a lot of crazy stories, that dude.
Right. There's
Like, and
tons.
he's been talking about this stuff forever.
Well,
Like,
he's
it's.
been, yeah, he has tons on the Looking Glass and all that stuff. It
Hmm.
all ties into each other. Like they were exploring with all of it, experimenting with all of it, I should say.
So, what up, D-Back? Thank you for the cookie. They say, hey, y'all often read the books you discuss. I guess that would be Pyler's always on here with some books, man. Like I got a shit ton of
Wait, what
books in
did
the
they
other
say?
room, but they often read the books that you discuss.
Okay, well, here's the next one I'm reading right now. Selected by Extraterrestrials, Volume 2, William Tompkins' book. Just got it yesterday. I'm 53 pages in, but
You
it's
said it's his
amazing.
journal, right? It's just a transcription of his actual journals, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
there's yeah, right. Yeah, there's like a preface and some other stuff, but uh yeah, basically you're reading his journal. It's absolutely incredible. If any bit of this is real, which I have a strong suspicion that it is, I don't think he's making this stuff up. We have a long way to go, guys. We are clueless here on the surface about what is possible and what's really happening out there.
While I'm thinking about it, since you were Andrew, has like didn't he have pictures and stuff or something? And it made me think of the picture you showed yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture that was supposedly taken by the chronovisor of Jesus.
Yeah, I had that. I can share that right now if you want.
Show them that. Hold on,
Allow
let
me to
me let me give you the keys. All right, there we go. Boop.
wait a second. I gotta find it here on my computer.
Because listen, maybe I'm just tinfoil hat nutty, but I believe this. Like that project was worked on allegedly by Enrico Fermi, right? Uh, Werner von Braun worked on the chronovisor. The Vatican supposedly has it. Like this is one of my favorite rabbit holes.
Where the heck?
What up, Kiz? Good to see you.
I mean, I had these on my computer to to I put them on the show on the episode, so they're on my computer, but I
Yeah,
can't find
you
them now.
had it yesterday for sure. Patricia Sertle says, Tyler, you should drop your book list on Telegram.
Oh man, that'd be a long one. No, it wouldn't be that long. Aaron's would be a long one. Aaron reads like a robot. That dude never stops reading.
Hey, that's good. Like, I don't
Uh,
know if it was this show we were talking about how screen reading has literally almost made it impossible for people to sit down and read books anymore. Like, that's part of their goal as they're developing this tech, you
this
know.
is absolutely crazy. What happened to these photos?
Oh, did the Archons infiltrate and steal your shiz?
I haven't. It literally makes no sense. I'm kind of blown away by it right now.
Well, while you're looking, I will ask the next question, I guess.
Yeah. It's your turn anyway, right?
Fearless says Jesus was a ginger. Changed my mind. Not according to the chronovisor, sir. Yeah, okay. Who in 2017 did Alex Jones call the literal Swamp King creature come to kill America? Was it A, Barack Obama, B, James Comey, C, Robert Mueller, or D, Peter Strzok?
Obama.
Final answer,
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer, but
right?
I'm gonna go with
The
Obama.
literal Swamp King creature come to kill America is turn the freaking frogs gay, right? Gremlins on Tylena. I know, right? Was it A, Barack Obama, B, James Comey, C, Robert Mueller, or D, Peter Strzok?
All right, I'm ready to share the screen whenever. We can do the question first.
Right? Yeah, because I definitely want to see. Because I feel like this could actually be Jesus. I mean, it looks like Jesus. Not our Jesus, but it
What,
looks
the
like.
swamp? The one who kicked the swamp king?
No, not the literal Swamp King creature. Yeah, Nancy Lucky, I'm sure at some point he has called all of them swamp creatures, but this is the literal Swamp King creature. It's come to kill America. And everybody's saying Obama. It was actually Robert Mueller. Surprise, surprise, right? He's
Interesting.
yeah. Well, he said, uh, he is now the king of the swamp. He said in a broadcast in the fall of 2017, according to Media Matters, right? Um, After briefly claiming that Senator No Name, right, was the real leader of the Democratic Party, Jones apparently said that Mueller was the literal Swamp King creature come to kill America. He said that everybody's so scared of Mueller, it sounds like AJ. They'd let Mueller rape kids in front of people, which he did, Jones said in July, right? And then later in the broadcast said The word, is that he doesn't actually have sex with kids. He just controls it all. Can you imagine being a monster like that? It's so
Mm,
crazy because Alex Jones says some of the craziest shit, right? Like
right.
he literally says some of the craziest shit, but the stuff that he says that is right almost makes all of that negligible.
Exactly. Well, it's just his delivery
Oh,
that
his
makes people
delivery
laugh at him.
is so
Like he
funny.
can say the truest thing possible, and it's entirely based in fact, but the way he delivers it, it
Makes it
turns
sound
people
like
off.
it's just some crazy
Yeah,
conspiracy
he makes
theory.
himself sound like a lunatic sometimes, and it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong, I laugh, I love it, but sometimes it hurts it. I think.
They have more of it here. It's so funny. He said, "That's a demon I will take down, or I will die trying." He said, "So that's it. It's going to happen. We're going to walk out in the square politically at high noon, and he's going to find out whether he makes a move or I make a move, and then it's going to happen." Like apparently he went off about this guy for like 20 minutes, ranting in his
Hmm.
show. Now look at
Interesting.
that. Does that not look like
So what we have here is the apparently this is the chronovisor at the time that they were using, and this is a photograph that was taken from the crucifixion of Christ. Now this wasn't obviously him on the cross, but this was from that moment. I don't know how that works. I don't know how they were able to get a picture. I don't understand it all, but this is it. And clearly it looks exactly like the modern depiction, the way we see him portrayed everywhere.
well, not the Medici version, right?
No,
But
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 you know
I
what I
totally
mean.
can
Like the
see
most
like with
popular version.
with the eyebrows and the prominent nose and the beard and stuff. Like I feel like this could be something, man.
Could be. Here it is. You decide for yourself.
And well, apparently with the chronovisor, it reads like everything that happens sends an energy wave out that's just rippling out, and that you can if you can catch the ripple, you can catch the arrangement of the energy and I don't know, transmute it into some sort of photographic evidence clearly. Like that's the claim. I mean, they took the thing and locked it up in the Vatican.
Right. Well, I've heard so many different theories on that. I just exited out of the whole thing.
Chris
Um,
Hawkins says Jesus wasn't white. Does that look like a white dude to you? That don't look like a white dude to me. Like to me,
well,
that dude definitely looks like.
Arabian.
A, I'm trying to think. Monty Python's a Red Sea pedestrian, right? Definitely looks like a
Yeah,
Red
I've
Sea
I've
pedestrian to
heard
me.
that I've heard that chronovisor. Like I've heard so many things. I heard that there was a few versions of it. One version was given to us by the extraterrestrials, but there was a problem. Humans couldn't use it. You had to have their DNA. It worked with the DNA of the individual. So it was like if you weren't of their race, then it didn't work. And they had to basically reverse engineer it and figure out how to turn it into something that we could use. But I've also heard that it started development began in the early 50s in somewhere in Italy in Europe, and there was multiple versions made before they were finally happy with one that was given to the Vatican, and then the Vatican had that along with the original extraterrestrial version, and then they handed it over to the CIA and they used it for whatever. But who knows?
Man, I want to know what the Vatican has in their
Everything.
secret stash. What up, woke one? Good to see you, fam. Good to see ya.
All right. Next question.
Your turn, sir.
All right. What was the name of the program created by Big Pharma in order to prevent mind controlled victims from waking up and breaking their silence?
Mm.
This includes bogus therapists and psychiatrists who convinced mind control victims that they are delusional and having false memories. So, what was the name of the program created in order to prevent them from waking up and breaking their silence? A. Screen Memory Access Program. B. False Memory Foundation. C. Mind Control Recovery Program. D. Schizophrenia Treatment Services.
Screen access program
I'll read
thing.
those again. A.
A.
Screen Memory Access Program. B. False Memory Foundation. C. Mind Control Recovery Program. D. Schizophrenia Treatment Services. What was the name of the program created by Big Pharma in order to prevent mind control victims from waking up and breaking their silence?
Hmm.
It's a tough one, I know. I was surprised to come across this, and I actually have some literature to read on this too.
Good. Big Pharma is so freaking shady.
Basically, it's like to stop whistleblowers or people from the programs that have memories that bleed through. They just basically convince them that they're crazy and throw meds at them.
Imagine that. That's what they do anyway
Um,
with everybody.
so the answer is not D. I was reading the chat. The answer is actually B, the false memory foundation. And I'll read what I have on that if I can find it. Yeah, the Big Pharma False Memory Foundation. In order to prevent mind control victims from waking up and breaking their silence, the Big Pharma Nazi mind control cartel has
Oh,
created
imagine
a
that.
false memory foundation. This includes bogus therapists and psychiatrists who convince mind control victims that they are delusional and are having false memories. Big Pharma and psychiatry have created fictitious diseases, the DSM 5, with in their Bible. Okay, I'm sorry. They have they have created fictitious diseases in their Bible, the DSM 5, whatever that is.
Yeah. Diagnostic
Um,
and Statistical
okay,
Manual.
right. Which with which they falsely diagnose victims and drug them up. Pharmaceutical drugs are horrendous for the kind of highly sensitive individuals who are selected for MK Ultra and can prevent mind control victims from ever awakening and breaking their condition. There are deep layers involved in mind control recovery.
The false memory found. I'm glad they have they got a foundation for every damn thing, man.
Right.
Everything.
So what'd you say it was? The DSM 5?
Mm-hmm.
The what?
It's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual.
So
It's
that's their
Yeah,
Bible.
and 5 is
Okay.
the fifth version. I think we're on the DSM
Okay.
6 now. They use it. Um, every diagnosable psychological ailment has its own entry in the DSM, and then there are like subsections, and you've got to meet certain criteria to get the diagnosis. So like everything's got like a little tree under it, and you've got to meet these certain criteria in order to get whatever diagnosis.
Yeah.
And they do it. They're it's almost like a religious text. Um,
I found that when I was doing a dig on Max Spears. I was trying to look up something that he said, and when I Googled him, it's you can't find any of his testimony, any of his interviews, anything on Google. You can only find all these debunked conspiracies
oh,
about
of
his death.
course.
And so you have to go to DuckDuckGo to find anything real. But I stumbled across that foundation because he claimed it. He was a victim of MK Ultra, and then I came across that. But
Imagine that, man. Imagine that. Who said Shepherding Shepherd said they keep the corona visors next to the med beds? Probably,
yeah,
probably, right? Uh, man. All right. We're gonna go kind of old school, simple on this. What recent admission, fairly recent, right, from astronaut Buzz Aldrin passed the Institute of Bioacoustics Biology lie detection analysis? So, what recent admission from Buzz Aldrin passed a lie detector? Was it A, that he was abducted by aliens, B, that the moon landing was faked, C, that he saw a UFO on the moon, or D, that he is a time traveler?
the which one was the moon landing was fake? B.
B,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
final answer,
Yeah.
right? I think all those freaking
Or
astronauts had something to say when they came back, right? Hey, Cloaked, thanks for the cookie.
well,
Um,
according. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, he's supposedly Severanon is having a new album release party tonight, but not sure when. Have you heard? I saw him post something about it in Telegram earlier. I'll have to text him and ask him. I have no idea what time,
Sweet.
right? I love Severe. That's my guy. That's my guy. Let's see. I'm seeing lots of B's and C's here. So the answer is C, that he saw a UFO on the moon. Passed the lie detector when he told this. Now I think they made him recant that, but it's crazy because especially now that NASA has been coming forward with so much information. Like even Bill Nelson, right? What did he say? Even just recently, said that we need a new format for how we're going to present proof of alien life to the people of Earth, right? We need to have a format for how we're going to go about the release. Just said this within the past month. And then the other day, I about had a heart attack. Dude was talking about how when we go to Mars, we're going to learn more about where we came from, who we are, how we got here, had this whole list of shit that we're going to learn when we get to Mars. And it certainly sounded to me like he was kind of intimating that perhaps human life originated from Mars. And he was dead straight face, just serious as shit when he was talking about this. Like, I mean, the things that the people have been, that's why I brought up Avril Haines earlier, is because, and I know there's a lot of people, it's limited hangout, limited disclosure. Like, this is what we're going to get at this
It's
point.
all going to be limited from here on
Yeah,
out.
like, this is what we're going to get, right? But it's nice to see some of these, higher ranking, maybe they're not, cabinet level people or whatever, but I mean, well, the DNI kind of is higher ranking people in the government coming out and talking about this stuff seriously. Like, this is not being taken as a joke anymore, you know?
Right.
But
Yeah,
when,
exactly. No, we're not laughing at us anymore. It's serious. I
you know,
mean,
I mean, when he said that shit about when we go to Mars, we're going to learn about where we came from and who we are, I was like,
we're not gonna learn. We're not
alrighty,
gonna learn about that. We're gonna learn about. We're gonna learn that
la
we've been
la,
lied to.
right?
Well, it's interesting because in this book I'm reading, William Tompkins talks about all the different designs that they were and the blueprints that they were recovering from Germany about for their basically their UFOs, their flying saucers, and they had a bunch of intel about a Germany Mars mission that was successful, but it was very apparent that it was only a one-way mission because the the craft that they had built to go to Mars had a bunch of issues on the way and they crash landed. Apparently, he has the whole details and everything, and they were stuck there basically. But they sent more people. They sent more after them, but the very first one was successful, but it was a one-way trip for those people. I don't know if they ever made it back, but this was like in the late 30s or early 40s or something like
Now,
that.
you said that he has like years worth of his journals that are being published, right?
Yeah, so there's a first book, and the second book is more, and then they're doing even a third book. Um, they were gonna, it was originally gonna be six books, but now it's gonna be three
And this dude's story was the same the whole time.
the whole time. Yeah,
Like,
he was brought into this stuff as a kid, like
right, didn't he was designing, like he said that he designed some of the ships for what, Solar Warden,
Solar Warden.
maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was working for a faction of the Navy during the day, and he would go to a secret facility at night and work in these think tanks, and he was developing this stuff, and he was a remote viewer, and he was like an astral traveler, and he was able to like he was able to obtain information and they didn't know how he was getting it. They actually were interrogating his father because they thought his father was a spy because they didn't know how he was getting this information, but he was just remote viewing it. And they actually had to take his Navy. See, he was a model ship builder,
Right.
and he had on his ships all the locations of like their secret top secret radar and their weapons and everything, like something that nobody should have known. And he knew, and he put them on his models, and they made him take the models out of the store because they were disclosing top secret locations of their weaponry and their radar. But yeah, he ended up working with some think tanks and developing out and designing the craft that were eventually going to be used in Solar Warden, and it goes on and on and
It'd
on.
be
But
so
it's
hard to falsify that amount of information. I
yeah,
I think. I mean, there are some awesome science fiction writers to be sure, but this guy, like, anytime he was interviewed, now he's been dead for a couple of years, right? Or for a few years.
2017. Yeah,
But like he seemed so genuine in his interviews.
yeah.
Like just like an old guy that just wanted to tell his story and, get it out before he passed.
Well, that's what Robert Wood, the guy who's actually writing these books now, are making them. legible, transcribing them. He said that he actually didn't believe any of what he said when he first heard it, um, until he realized that him and Robert Wood worked in the same facility together and were dealing with a lot of the same people. When as soon as William Tompkins started naming some people, and they were working together at the same company at the same time, but they never met each other because it's all compartmentalized, but they knew all the same people. And then once he started saying that, like he started listening to them, and then he started doing his own research and getting in contact with these people and like, holy shit, like this stuff's real. He's not lying about this.
Man,
And
well, as more, as more information comes out, like we're going to be able to go back to these things that have been said and say, "Oh, okay." Like
yeah,
this makes a lot of sense now. You know what's crazy? I don't know if you caught it, but I think we talked about it on Space Force News this past week. Black Vault, the dude that runs Black Vault does an excellent job, but he had tried to file FOIA requests. Come to find out that all of the 144 cases that they investigated for the report that came out in June or July, they're all classified now. We can't have any of that information.
well, that Black Vault guy he's got tons of video or
He's
footage.
great.
Well, he's been even as a kid, like he's been doing like he would if you listen to his story, like as a child, he was like working in like all of his allowance. He was like cutting grass and shit, saving money just to pay for the FOIA request. And he's been collecting this stuff since he was a
Yeah,
child.
shout out to that guy, Black Vault
Right.
guy, right?
And if you look at some of the photographs of UFOs that he's gotten from them, that's all the disclosure you need. That's better than the fuzzy tic tacs and
Man,
everything. And
right?
he was able to get this from FOIA requests. It's unreal if you go through and look at that stuff.
Yeah, he's got his website. There is a ton of information on there.
Uh,
Like just a ton. You could get lost for freaking months in that website for sure. Um, Gashmeister50 says Buzz also admitted they never went to the moon. Well, I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, go ahead.
no, didn't they? I mean, I would imagine they started to go up there and they got their asses turned around. Yeah,
Well, there's theories, right?
Furl. What up, Sean Joe?
So that movie I was talking about, Project Avalanche,
Oh yeah,
Operation
yeah, yeah.
Avalanche. Well, that whole theory, that movie depicts a theory where all the astronauts went to space, but and they could go to space and land on the moon, but they couldn't take back off from the moon, and they knew that. That's why they had to fake the landing. So they went to space and they circled the moon, and the astronauts were actually paid off, and they were in on it because they were the ones who had the plate of tape from through the feed from the shuttle,
Hmm.
so it would go to Houston Mission Control and look legitimate. So the astronauts were actually in on it, according to that theory, and they actually went to space and they were just orbiting the
So
moon
that does make
while
sense. They would broadcast it back so it even looked like it was coming
right.
from.
Well, so even the people in Mission Control didn't know that the
Right, right,
footage
right, right, right.
they weren't in on it. They thought they were seeing legitimate footage too, but they were just playing the tape
Well, if
basically
you're
through.
gonna do it, that's the way to do it, man.
Right. So that's one theory. And then there's the William Tompkins theory that not that group of guys, but a different group did land on the moon and they encountered all those UFOs in the crater, blah blah blah, and they were basically asked to leave right away. That's actually William Tompkins' version of it, and a lot of other people corroborate that as well. And then there's the flat earthers who say we've never even left the atmosphere because we can't,
Right, right. Of course, of course.
So
Shout out, much love to the flat Earth folks.
right.
Sean Joe, thank you for the cookie. Thank you for the cookie.
Like if anything that William Tompkins says or any of these whistleblowers say is real, like the whole flat earth theory is just out the window. I mean, it literally has to be. But so you're either choosing to, deny years and years of eyewitness testimony or just believe what you're reading on the internet. You have to believe in one or the other. So
I will say this: the flat Earth community, they are dedicated to their cause, sir. When
oh yeah.
Alara and I had on, who did we have on? Dave and Mark. We had Mark
Yeah, I remember
Sargent and
that.
Dave
I
Weiss.
remember when you did
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
listen, they had an explanation for everything that we, I mean, they were, super convinced. So,
Yeah.
much love to the loyal foils out there. Like they
Right.
are loyal to that foil for sure, for sure.
Um, Who knows? I've never been off planet. I can't tell you one way or the other either. But I don't feel like it's flat.
Right.
I really don't. Especially after reading a book like that and just putting your heart into it and like feeling into the information. Like, there's no way this guy's lying. Like, and a lot of some of the other whistleblowers too. And you never heard one of these people say that the earth is flat. They're all just like laugh, like no, like not even, it's just not flat.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Right. Thumper Rose says depends on the definition of firmament in ancient times. Now that is one of the arguments that they give about the whole
mhm.
firmament argument. Um, but I don't know. Like I said, I welcome all conspiracies and conspiracy theorists. Love
Right.
from my bosoms.
Right.
But I
There's a lot.
personally believe the Earth is round.
Right. Well, then even I said this before, but when we had Ivan Teller on, he was channeling. I asked, "Is the Earth flat?" And he said, "No, but it is in other dimensions."
Well,
And
this
that's
yeah,
where,
right.
and he said that's where the flat earthers are tapping into, and they're getting that information from. And that information is even being bled through intentionally for the flat earthers to get that information. So they'll literally go to the grave 100% convinced because they are getting their information, but it's just coming from a different dimension. It's really interesting.
Like I'll tell you this, one of my very best friends, probably one of the smartest people I know, is a mechanical engineer for the government. Won't admit that he's a flat earther, but is always trying to argue certain technicalities with me that I know that that's what he thinks.
Right.
So hey, to each their own, man. Nee. Yes, fearless. Nee.
All right. Is it your turn, Mike? It's your turn.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Okay. I
Wait,
gotta.
wait, wait. Who asked?
I don't even know what the hell we were
I
talking
think it's
about.
my turn. It's my turn. You
After
what
you.
was
Oh yeah, because Buzz Aldrin,
you asked the
right?
Buzz Aldrin thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Project Monarch was a subset of the MK Ultra program that was specifically designed to create what? A. Monarch butterflies. B. Fake whistleblowers. C. Sex slaves. D. Child psychics.
Ooh.
Project Monarch was a subset of the MK Ultra program that was specifically designed to create what? A. Monarch butterflies. B. Fake whistleblowers. C. Sex slaves. D. Child psychics.
Sex slaves. Sex slaves, right? They had different levels, I think.
You
Uh,
sound pretty confident in that.
let the firmament showeth his handiwork. Didn't who had that on their tombstone? Didn't Werner von Braun put that on his tombstone? Maybe help me out here, flat Earth girl, for Trump and Q. Yes, let me know if that's right. I think that's right. Good to see
I'm
you
not
guys.
sure.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
So
Something about
everybody's
that.
man, everybody's going to see. We have one D. It is C. Sex slaves.
They also
Unfortunately,
made assassins and other things too, didn't they?
right? Yeah,
When
there
when
was
they
a
when
lot
they
going on.
created their altars, they split them off and
Mm-hmm. It's a crazy rabbit hole that
right.
you're gonna find. There was some stuff I was finding that I was like, man, I can't even I don't even want to turn these into questions because it's so disturbing.
Just
And
dark,
but it, right?
just dark for sure.
I
Um,
mean, like the German. I'm not even gonna say it. I just won't even say it. We're not gonna go there
not even gonna go
because
there, man.
it's not pleasant information.
Leyland says, did you see the clip of the Joint Chiefs saying we'll be dealing with hybrid armies and little green men? Yes, that was crazy. That was some crazy. That was just
I did see.
recently.
I did
Did
see
you
that
see that?
actually. Yeah,
That was
and
wild, right? Serious as
right,
shit. Just up there, like we're gonna be dealing with hybrid armies and little green men. I don't even know what
if we already aren't, we already
right,
are.
like right. Um,
Well, that's what that thing. Uh, what I shared on Facebook this morning from that book I was reading. William Tompkins talked about some of the information come from the spies was that like the majority of the World War II army were clones. They had an entire clone army of basically people who didn't fear death. They were just programmed to fight, and they even came back and he reported that. And like Rick Obata, Admiral Rick Obata, who was receiving the briefing, didn't even seem surprised. He knew about the clones already. Like, so we've known about the cloning since the 40s. And then people people have trouble believing
There were
that.
people in the Vatican that were publishing on cloning back
Right.
in the day, like way back in the day. What up? I see Ascension Diaries somewhere. Somebody saying hi. Is she here?
Like
Hey, good to see you, Alexis.
like right now, Jordan Sather's big thing is making fun of everybody who says that Biden is a clone. I'm like, dude, like I don't see how you
Hey,
don't think it's possible. I really don't see. Like I
okay.
don't know. I just think he likes to
I don't know
normal.
if it's probable, but I definitely think it's possible, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Um.
I don't doubt that. I'm to the point now in the tinfoil that I don't know that I doubt that anything is possible at this point. Like,
Exactly.
what do we really know? Like, the more I read, the more I realize we don't know shit about shit, man. It's just that simple. I see Yashmeister and I called you Flat Earth Girl. My bad, fam. Florida Girl for Trump and Q saying, yes, Werner von Braun had that on his tombstone. I knew he had put something on there. I remember Mark and Dave telling me, like, he had put something on there that made it seem like he was trying to disclose that the earth was actually flat when he died after all of his work with NASA and stuff. And he told his assistant, or he told somebody something, something about it all being a lie, or something along those lines. Um, Frightening me saying, "Show us the clip. I haven't seen it. Let me see if I can
Fearless.
find
You
it."
know Jordan Tyler. Yeah, I know. I know how he is. He likes to poke the bear and just have fun with things.
Right?
But sometimes actually I think it's just as irresponsible what he does as what he's saying other people do. There's no sauce one way or the other. So like I don't know where he's coming from besides his opinion. I mean, that's all he's got most of the time. But let him do what he wants to
Opinions are
do.
like assholes, man.
Right.
Everybody's got one. I'm
Right.
looking for that clip, guys. I know somebody tagged me in on Telegram with that damn clip of the guy saying that about the hybrid armies and stuff. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I definitely have seen that. I don't know
Yeah, it
where I
was
can find
crazy.
it. Though.
Frightening me wants to see it. If I can find it, guys, I'll.
You know what's hard is when if you scroll past the video, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back and find that later. Go
Man,
try and
you can't
find it.
find
No,
nothing.
because you can't Google search it.
Mm-mm.
You can't search it on any search engine because it showed up on some social media page. It's like if you see something that is intriguing, like just save it right off the bat.
Right, I
I
meant to
I have
also.
screenshots and videos saved to my phone that I probably even forgot about because I'm just like I'll forget about that if I don't screenshot.
Oh
And then
shit, I
I'll be going
found
through
it.
my pictures, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I found it. Hold on, let me see if I can. Now it's gonna be on Telegram, guys. So I don't know how great this
Dealing
will
with
be.
hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men.
Here, one more time.
Dealing with hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men.
I don't see anything. What are you doing?
One more time. Yeah, it's up on the. Sorry, you're not gonna see it.
Dealing with
Oh, okay.
hybrid armies. You'll be dealing with little green men.
Who is that? Is that Millie? Who is that saying that though? That's wild. I found it for you, Frightening Me. Don't you worry. Yeah, it's crazy shit though. I mean, we're getting a lot of Oh yeah, Wonder Mod says it was me. I found it. I
That's not that new of a clip.
I don't know
By the
when
way.
it's from.
No,
Right?
that's from a
Somebody
few
just
years ago. That's
tagged
from a
me
few
in that.
years ago. Right. I've that's from a few years ago. I remember that. Because I remember flipping out back then whenever it actually happened, and like it just crickets.
I wonder in what context he was saying it.
There was a lot. I watched. There was a lot more to that speech. It was.
Oh yeah, that was like 4 seconds. There had to, I would like to hear the entire context in which it was said for sure.
Uh,
For sure. All right, let's see here.
but anyway, we have clone armies. We have hybrid armies. You better believe it.
Right. And little gray men, as somebody pointed out, not green. There could be little green men. We don't know. They could be greenish gray. Who knows? Who knows?
All different colors.
What up, Cloud Watcher? Yeah, Kazoo from the Flintstones. Exactly. The great Kazoo.
All right. What do you got? For me? What's
All
next?
right. Why do conspiracists claim the clay figurine discovered in Nampa, Idaho, proves that the scientific description of human history is inaccurate? Okay, so why do conspiracists claim that the clay figurine discovered in Nampa, Idaho proves that the scientific description of human history is inaccurate? A, it's made from titanium alloy. B, it shows a person holding a cell phone. C, it's 2 million years old, or D, it is clearly wearing a spacesuit with an oxygen tank.
I D. I don't actually know what little figure you're talking about, but I know there's one with a cell phone. I know there's one with the or spacesuit.
Right?
Um,
Greg Herrera says Millie is a terrible human. Fact check true.
hmm.
Fact check true. Right? Think Star Wars bar scene. Yes, quite so. LT5, quite so.
We got C, D, Sup
Yeah, look, all
Fearless,
over the place.
C,
Uh,
C, spacesuit, D.
Actually, it
What's up,
was
Barry?
2 million years old.
Oh, really? Interesting.
How
What
do
is this?
if you find a figurine, right? Let me just roll this back a bit, right?
Wait. I want to look this up real quick. What's the figurine?
Clay figurine, Nampa, NAM as in Mary, P as in Paul, A, Nampa, Idaho.
Got it. Images. Oh, so it's not a cell phone or a spacesuit. It's just a little
Yeah, it's
figurine,
just
but
a little figurine, but apparently it's 2 million years old, right?
it's a small little guy too.
Can you show them? Because I gave you the keys and I don't have it pulled up anyway. But let me just,
Yeah.
so, I
Shit, I
mean,
pulled up the
Homo
site of all
sapiens is what? Like maybe 200,000 years old in our current iteration? Like we're maybe 200,000 years old. I mean, for God's sakes, we've been writing for what, like 5,000 years, maybe a little more. I mean, our oldest civilizations that we've found, uh, I mean, what's the one? Is like 13,000 years old. Damn, man, Morgan Freeman was talking. I can't even think about it. But point of the matter is, you find a figurine that was clearly crafted by, I don't know, I won't say human hands, but intelligent hands. It's that freaking old. Yes, it rewrites history. And weren't we just talking on Space Force News about how they now have rolled back? Um, hold on, because our screen's in the way. There we go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's it. It's small.
Yeah, just a little tiny, but it's clearly crafted.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Hominoid, or yeah, hominid looking humanoid figurine. Like, that's wild.
Hmm. It is. It is.
I mean, that is wild. So, I mean, just to find something that old anyway, just completely obliterates the narrative that we've been given, man. What up, Warrior Biatch?
Everything we're discovering now
Thank you, frightening me.
obliterates
Go
the
Beckley
narrative.
Teppy.
Yeah.
I couldn't think
Every
of it.
everything shatters the narrative nowadays. Like it's so apparent
The
that it's
narrative
all
is so
bullshit.
bad. Have I told you about the World Economics Forum's the Great Narrative, like their new thing, right? I was supposed to go on Tuesday and talk about, but you guys, just so you know, anybody watching this now, I'm working 3 jobs currently, and I've had a hell of a time with my family recently. I'm sorry that I haven't been on every Tuesday. I will get it together at some point soon, but I wanted to come on and talk about that. Like Klaus Schwab and co. now have decided that they met in Dubai and they had this meeting where they are now crafting the great narrative,
Hmm. Of
right?
course.
Of course. Because humans like stories, right? So they want to get together and decide. They got all these people together and they're going to decide where we get to go as a species, right? They're going to tell us this great story and how we're going to get there. And, they're going to craft these heroes and craft these villains as if that's not what they've
That's
been doing anyway.
that's exactly what the Nazis did.
Imagine
They
that.
they erased their histories and pumped
Imagine that.
propaganda into their education system and basically
Well, I mean, and
yeah.
the crazy shit is they don't even have to like hide anything, or they don't even lie about it. They're just like, yeah, so this is what we're doing. Yes, UFO Mark, 3 jobs. It fucking sucks, but
Humans existed with dinosaurs. Just look at some ancient temples in India. I absolutely believe that
what
humans.
weren't we talking about the wasn't there a dinosaur footprint with a human footprint
Yeah, yeah.
fossilized in it?
There's multiple examples of that. Yeah, and there's that place in Africa where they found all the artifacts of like people like riding dinosaurs and coexisting with dinosaurs and stuff a lot. And then there's people that try and debunk it and say they're like it's a hoax. It's a whatever like
Right.
whatever. But if they're not, then I'm pretty sure I mean, we know. I don't think we know anything, but I definitely think that humans were here for far longer than we possibly could
Man,
know.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Or humanoid figures, anyway, or
Right.
ETs, whatever.
Who just UFO Mark? How am I even here, bruh? I work 8:30 in the morning till at least midnight, Monday through Friday, and then sometimes I work Saturdays and Sundays too. It's I just have to craft out time. Like today, I'm supposed to be going up to a lake house with Alara and Suki and Miracle Girlie. When I get done here, I had to schedule this little bit of time off so that I could go do that. Yuvonda said, "How's my family doing?" Much better, much better. My niece is doing better. She's healthy. We found out it was cat scratch fever. Dun-dun-dun. That's what's wrong with her lymph nodes.
Hmm.
But she took the medicine. She's getting a little bit better. Thank you, Cloaked, for the cookie. Says he forgot to mention the green supersized 100-foot tall jolly green giant and his brothers. Are we talking about Millie, Cloaked? Right?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, FC said, Foil, is that really you? No, this is the bot. This is the
Right.
Foil bot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Foil bot.
Ready for this next question?
Bring it, sir.
According to missile blower, according to according to whistleblower Max Spears, every human has a combination of reptilian and mammal DNA, but those who have more than 50% reptilian DNA have what ability? A, super strength, B, shape-shifting abilities, C, telepathic abilities, or D, a heightened sense of smell. So, according to whistleblower Max Spears, every human has a combination of reptilian and mammal DNA, but those who have more than 50% reptilian DNA have what ability? Super strength, B, shape-shifting abilities, C, telepathic abilities, D, super hearing, basically, heightened sense of hearing.
I thought it was heightened sense of smell, you said.
No, I did say smell. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go with I'm going
Smell.
to go with telepathic abilities.
C, we have B,
Maybe.
B, a lot of B's. We have a no clue. We have a C. We
You
have a
only got to
D.
be 50% lizard to shapeshift, man. I don't know. I'm going with telepathic abilities. I could be wrong, though. Could be wrong.
So the answer is shape-shifting.
Damn.
Ability.
You only got to be a half a lizard for that?
Well, apparently to have 50% reptilian DNA is rare. To have that much. Like we all have a little bit, but if you're 50%, you have abilities like that probably the elites and the royal families have.
Man,
He
right?
also
With
said
their
that
carefully curated bloodlines.
going back to clones, it's actually something Dolly Parton, Max Spears said. He said Dolly Parton was the first clone experiment that was tested to a mass population. She was the first public celebrity clone, apparently.
Imagine that.
I don't
What is going on, guys? I don't even want to know what's going on down at the lake house right now. Thank you, John the Greek, for the cookie. Sokka Q with the EMP coming in hard. Hashtag blowjobs for Kyle. Miracle Girlie with the shades coming in. Hashtag blowjobs for Kyle. I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about. You can tell me when I get there.
blowjobs for Kyle.
Blowjobs all around for Kyle.
Whistleblower.
Right?
Whistleblowers for
The
Kyle.
missile blowers, right? Sokka with another 2,700 gold pills, blowjobs for Kyle. Yeah, that kid definitely needs something today, right? Freedom Fest. Man, thank you guys. Thank you for the gold pill love. It warms the cockles of my heart. Man, what were we talking about Kamala before the show? Uh the
What
only
about her?
guy, the Kamala, the only guy that likes her, only likes her
Oh
while
yeah,
she's
right.
doing the deed, man.
Yeah, that's
Right?
about the
Hates her
only
all the
person.
other time. That was kind of wild. Did anybody else think that maybe that was it today? It was going to be President Harris. Did
Me
anybody?
for sure.
Right?
The second I read that, I was like, bet he doesn't come back.
Right.
Sure enough, they wiped his ass and put him back in
My
place.
butt's been wiped. Right?
Right.
Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Carrie Lake says, where does RH negative come into play?
Fearless says, I ain't buying the Dolly thing. Talk to Max Spears. That comes from him.
The doll, what, the sheep? The Dolly
No, the
sheep?
Dolly Parton
Oh,
thing.
Dolly Parton. Hi, Alara. I see Wingman in the house. Would you guys
I've
just decide to
definitely
get on
heard.
Foxhole now?
I've definitely heard she was. I've heard other people claim she was cloned, but who knows?
Dolly
Um,
Parton?
yeah,
Do we need a clone of Dolly Parton, man?
I don't see
Like,
why not.
can't they clone somebody like useful? Like, who would be, if you had to vote for somebody to be a clone, like, who would be worthy of, like, who do we need a duplicate of? I'm trying to think.
Everybody. So, so I forget. I think it was Johann Fritz. Somebody asked him why. It was during an interview. Why do you think people aren't ready for disclosure? And he said, or for true disclosure, and because he goes, I don't think every human is ready to hear that they all have a clone of themselves running around somewhere in the universe. And he said, every human? He said, yes. So basically we all have clones.
Man, but I mean, like, I maybe, but who do we need backups of here on Earth? Like, if I had to clone somebody, who would I clone, man? I don't even know.
I wouldn't clone anybody. I ain't fucking with it.
Right. Soccer Q with another EMP hashtag blowjobs for Kyle. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the love. Man, Dolly Parton clone army. All right, let's see. Hmm. According to Greek lore, children born during the 12 days of Christmas are in danger of turning into what types of creatures? Is it A, goblins, B, elves, C, pixies, or D, reindeer?
I have no idea.
Right.
What was the first
The
one again?
goblins, elves, pixies, or reindeer? Children born during the 12 days of Christmas.
I'm just gonna go with reindeer since it's Christmas themed.
Right? This is an OG question, right? I don't think we've
Oh,
asked that one yet. Yeah, right. Oh,
there's gotta be a new volume coming out soon.
man, I hope so. I love these little questions. You know, I bought the scanner thing so we could actually scan the
Well,
QR codes on there. I still haven't even tried to hook it up. I don't even
you
know.
can scan. I mean, I scanned. So I was at ESETI has that game too. While I was there, I decided to scan some of those QR codes and see it. I saw my phone. It's not even worth it. They take you to like a stupid page that like it's not. All it is once the one I scanned took you to a photograph that just related to the
Oh, so it's not
question.
like sauce.
No, no, it was just I was like, that's it. Like no articles, nothing to read. It was
Right?
just a
You would
photograph. I'm
think it
like,
would be a whole thing. Let's
yeah.
see.
So
Fringe Dweller says E, a partridge. Right? Yeah, it's goblins. Apparently, goblins don't have kids during the 12 days of Christmas, according to Greek lore. Coal sprites, what are those? I don't know. I'm interested in the whole changeling thing.
changelings. That's
Changelings. That's
Oh,
crazy, right?
that's what they call them in Star Wars.
Well, the
No,
fair apparently the
they call them
fairies will come.
a changeling.
A changeling?
That's their version of shapeshifter, changeling in Star Wars.
Well, I know that the fairies will come and steal a child and leave like a duplicate in its place, but it's an evil duplicate,
Oh,
allegedly,
interesting.
right? Yeah.
But what episode? I think it's episode 2 of Star Wars, like the prequel episode 2, where the one girl is what they call changeling, and like whenever she gets wounded, she shapeshifts into none other than a reptilian.
Imagine that.
Right. Like could have been any species they wanted, but of course they made
They
it
went
a
with the
yeah.
reptilian. Naturally. Naturally. All right, let's see. I got to get out of here a little bit early tonight. You
All
got
right.
one more for me?
I have two more, but
Two more. Let's do two more.
I'll read the first one. I'll read the best one first. Actually, this one just came to my attention right before the show.
Ooh.
According to a 2016 article from the U.S. Army's official website, Army scientists have successfully teleported a fully equipped squad of soldiers from a Massachusetts research and development facility to what location? Sorry, I butchered that. A, New York. B, Hawaii. C, Germany. D, Antarctica. So basically, the Army Army scientists have successfully teleported soldiers from Massachusetts, I can't talk, to where? New York, Hawaii, Germany, or Antarctica?
I'm going to go with New York. Only because Montauk's in New York, and that's the only thing that makes some kind of sense to me. Brooke Van Horn says, I am a Fae. Are we talking about the Fae? The Fae?
But that comes from the actual, this is legit from the U.S. Army's website. There's an article from 2016. They said they successfully teleported soldiers from Massachusetts research facility to this location. And it's no joke. That's a real article.
Well, they teleported a whole damn boat in the Philadelphia
Right.
experiment,
But it's
right?
just funny because people like you try and tell somebody that this stuff's possible and you have like a debate about it, but it's literally right there. And like so at some point you just don't believe the military, you don't believe anybody.
Right.
The
That's
answer is
crazy.
Germany. The answer is
Oh,
Germany,
damn.
a training facility in Germany.
Imagine that. Why are
Yeah.
we teleporting shit to Germany? Thanks, Miracle Girlie for the cookie. Might want to get out of there. She says, I'm coming. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Right? Why are we teleporting shit to Germany, yo? Ah, the shade. The
Do you have more
shade.
questions or do you want me to ask my one?
You ask your final question.
And then you have to go.
And then I am going to drive to the lake.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go.
While it's well known that the famous Hadron Collider, CERN, is located in Switzerland,
Hmm.
it isn't well known that CERN has a sister located in the US that is actually scheduled to be shut down in 2024
Hmm.
to be replaced with a new version that Stephen Hawking has nicknamed the Time Machine
Oh, imagine that.
that is going to be located in what major city? A, LA, B, Denver, C, Chicago, D, New York.
Damn, I was really thinking you were going to say Texas. I know we've got some sort of particle collider in Texas. Um,
So there's one active now in this location, and they're going to shut it down in 2024, and they're going to replace it with what Stephen Hawking calls the time machine, and it's not supposed to be operational until 2030.
I'm ashamed that I don't know this. Denver, just because it's evil.
I thought you for sure you would have knew this actually.
Damn, man, I do feel kind of. I feel kind of bad, man. Like I'm slacking or something.
The
Right,
answer is D, New York, Long Island, New York.
man.
That's where it's at now. They're just basically going to replace it. It's actually been active since like 2014 or 2016, something like that. Uh, it's been
Is this
basically our
supposed to
version of
have
CERN.
a bigger radius than CERN or what? Do
I,
we
I,
know?
it didn't give too many details. Honestly, I was trying to find more about it, but it just says like they kept saying the time machine. Which, if they're gonna nickname it the time machine, like come on, like we know what's been happening in New York and Montauk since whatever. Like they're just now straight up calling it a time machine, and people are still like, bro, we can't time travel.
Right? Hey, listen, I know that they were I mean, that's an international project and I remember them fundraising for it, like trying to get more money from the international community to build it. I don't know why I thought Texas. Uh, but
Fearless
yeah.
told me. Fearless sent me a link. I'm gonna click on it.
Oh, okay.
Where
There
does
you
it
go.
take me?
We don't know, but that's all right.
Keck reclaims luminosity record.
Oh, it's literally called Keck?
Well, I don't know what this is referring to.
Oh,
What am I supposed to be looking for here,
I don't know.
Fearless?
I don't think I'm going to get much rest at the lake house frightening me. I have a feeling there are shenanigans afoot down there. I'm going to have to go inspectigate. Brooke Van Horn says, is it in
Oh,
Montauk?
this is
He
another
said
one they're
Long
talking
Island.
about. I guess this is the one he sent me is another one they're talking about in Japan. Yeah, I've heard that there's like multiple CERNs, basically CERN type colliders
Yeah,
throughout the planet.
there are a lot of
Yeah.
particle colliders. A lot of them are straight. CERN is somewhat unique. It's a giant loop, and they're able to speed up. Prior to the collisions because of the size of it. And I know they wanted to build a bigger one. Um, it's crazy the stuff. And it's not all bad. Like, I worry about CERN because the people that are working there are freaking nuts. Clearly, with the whole, you know, destroyer dances and secret videos coming out of them doing weirdo shit over there. Like, that's a little disturbing. But,
Yeah.
in the whole, I support learning more about the physics of our reality. I'm a fan of that. Yes, lake house shenanigans. Well,
Right. Like that's what like everything they're doing is fascinating, but unfortunately we have like Satanists that
yeah,
are doing all
dumbasses
the
that are
research.
yeah
Yeah.
that are involved. Like,
They're
this is the
doing it for
problem.
nefarious reasons. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if we could
Um,
just get the dumbasses out of here, that'd be great. We'd be
right.
fine. You know.
All right. I'm gonna
So
go
what?
get some eggnog. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
you and this freaking
I'm joking.
nog.
I just brought it up just for the hell of it.
What do you got coming up this week? Are we allowed to
uh,
know, or is it
yeah,
classified?
next week. So this coming up week is Thanksgiving, right? So
Oh, that's
our
true.
show will not be Thursday. It's going to be live on Wednesday night with
Ooh.
a special guest. So stay tuned for that.
So we don't get to know the guest. Can't just once? I want you to announce here first your special guest, okay? Just so you know my
All right.
feelings on the matter.
It's actually, I will say this. There's going to be two guests.
Oh, okay. Are they a couple?
No.
Oh, damn. Thought I had it. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I know that I think we're doing Space Force News on Sunday. We should be back in time, I think. Not 100 on that. Other than that, guys, thank you for hanging out here. If I don't see you before the holiday, happy Thanksgiving. Much love to you all. What else? I think that's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Well, until next time, you guys.
Good night, guys.
Much love.
Ask me one last question while we're going out.
There we go. All right. All right. Let me find you a good one. Oh, I think we asked that one recently. Okay. In February 2020, the Mars Society offered a $10,000 prize for the best design of what technology needed for Mars? Was it A, moisture moisture vaporators, okay? B, modular tunnel boring machines. C, return launch vehicles. Or D, a detailed plan for a Martian city.
I definitely think we did this one before, and I don't remember. I'm going to go with the city because I think that's what I remember, but it also could be the boring one. What is
All right. Seems like it would be the boring one since it's Elon Musk related. No, it was the city.
Yeah,
I think we
right.
showed, Alara and I had found, I think it was on Space Force News. They had the pictures. It was all built into the side of the rock walls and like built into the, into the actual rocks of Mars. It was kind of neat looking.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
The
good night,
Mars
guys.
Society. Right. Good night, guys. We love ya.